Hey, welcome on in, guys. Tobin here with you, and thanks for checking out the channel. Hope you're doing well out there. If you guys could subscribe, that'd be great. Appreciate you stopping by. So, first off, let's wish a happy birthday to the OG Udonis Haslem. The best. Miss him. Team hasn't been the same without him. Every one of you ingrates who bitched about giving him a roster spot for all these years, you know, things have gone to hell in a handbasket without him. So just keep that of note. UD, as soon as he steps away and as soon as he's off doing his media thing, 2 first-round exits, you know, and if you want to tell me it would have been otherwise, I mean, I would tell you this. If you and I got into an argument about that, I'm winning that argument. If you're telling me, hey, it doesn't matter that Udonis Haslem wasn't here, and I'd sit here and I would tell you, like, well, 2 first-round exits without him, you tell me that it doesn't matter. Go ahead. What's your argument? What do you got for me? Oh, well, you know, what did he do? Oh, he was just a practice player. Oh, it was just motivation. Oh, we just kept the locker room in line. Well, I guess, I mean, you would have an argument, but it's not better than the argument that I would have, which is, well, the last time he was on the team, they made the finals, and what have the Miami Heat done since? Just erupted into and deteriorated into pure chaos with Udonis Haslem not on the bench, not in the locker room. So I'm not saying that it's all UD, but I'm not saying that UD didn't have some influence. It would have been interesting. I would have liked to known how this Jimmy Butler thing would have gone down if Udonis Haslem was there, right? I would have liked to known if UD was in that locker room truly every day. Would it have deteriorated as much as it did? Would Jimmy have acted up? With UD on the watch, essentially. And even if he did, when things were really going awry, would his influence have been a help when the unknown was there, when roles were questioned, when new guys, think about bringing in new guys and making them feel comfortable. And I'm sure that he did some of this, you know, knowing that he goes to practices and knowing that he calls people, but it's not the same. I think we can all, even us schmoes who have not been professional athletes, I think even UD would admit it's not the same. So I just wonder if Udonis Haslem would have been there this year. Not saying that I need Udonis Haslem to play till he's in the grave, but if he would have been there, would the season have gone as poorly as it did? And I can only deduce, based on the results of him not being there, is that no, of course, if he was there, that things would have worked out better because Udonis Haslem is the best. And if you think otherwise, you're just a rat bastard bum, and I don't know what to tell you. Speaking of Udonis Haslem and speaking of his influence on young players, I found this one a little bit interesting because some Heat ties to this. You guys familiar with Precious Achiuwa? Once wrote a song about him to the Plain White Tees, Hey There Delilah. And it went something like, Precious Achiuwa was drafted in college by Penny. Precious Achiuwa is apparently going to be off the Knicks next year. He is not happy with his playing time or his role with the Knicks. Got very little playing time with the New York Knicks. We know that they're going through some changes. They're going to have a head coaching change. It seems like today there was public flirtation with Jason Kidd. So I guess everybody can back off the Eric Spoelstra trail for a little bit. But if you guys don't remember Precious Achiuwa, he's now really been relegated to, oh, he's the guy we drafted instead of Tyrese Maxey. Like, that's what most Heat fans remember from Precious Achiuwa. But he was in the Kyle Lowry trade. He was a little sweetener with Goran Dragic, and that was essentially what got the Miami Heat to get Kyle Lowry, a deal that I think worked out okay for the Heat. But Gogie's my faves, so I was upset to see him go. And I had a soft spot for Precious Achiuwa. Now, Precious was interesting because, remember, he played in the post-COVID team. COVID tests, guys losing minutes, nobody in the stands. Very weird season. And that also meant that he was scouted via virtual reality, via Zoom and all that type of stuff. Played for Penny Hardaway at Memphis. Essentially became the best player for them in the middle of the year because James Wiseman was donezo with it. He ends up going to become the number 2 overall pick. But Precious, it's been an interesting thing because I feel like Precious Achiuwa fancied himself as a very skilled player, but really, and everybody does, right? A lot of Bam comparisons coming out. One of the things that's tough for young bigs when they come to the Miami Heat is like you're always being compared to the energy and effort that Bam Adebayo plays with, and it's not necessarily the easiest thing for all these young guys to emulate. And so Precious comes here, his minutes start to dwindle, and a lot of it was, hey, he's got to play balls to the wall when he's in those Bam minutes. He needs, there was no he's going to play with Bam. There's no he's going to play on the same time as Bam. No, he's going to go and play when Bam's not out there. And the Heat needed him to play like full throttle, balls to the wall. And he never brought that gear. He never brought that extra. And to be fair, this is something that's really followed him. I remember Nick Nurse talking about Precious Achiuwa in a pregame session where they're about to take on the Miami Heat. And I think he ended up actually this night. Maybe it was this night. I think this was the night he ended up having a career high 22 rebounds. And I always joked on Twitter, I'm like, Precious Achiuwa plays the Miami Heat like he hates Spo's guts. And so he had some of those questions in Toronto, and then he ends up in the RJ Barrett trade, I believe. Goes to the Knicks, does some good things for the New York Knicks. I think he was a pretty popular guy. Rooted for the Knicks coming up. I think a lot of Knicks fans dug Precious Achiuwa, but also like his minutes, playoff time, never played, had a lot of those same criticism. Not playing to his full effort defensively, not playing to his full effort rebounding. So why am I bringing this up? Well, reports are that he's unhappy with his playing time with the New York Knicks and wants to go to a new team, wants to find a new location, and that he's likely not going to return to the New York Knicks this year. As an aside, his agent also is Alex Saratzis, who is Bam Adebayo's agent, and also Giannis Antetokounmpo's agent. So I could be looking at this as a little bit of a wink, kissing ass to the agent. But I would be intrigued if the Miami Heat dipped their toes in the water of Precious Achiuwa. Now, I have no idea what he wants money-wise. I have no idea what the ask is there. But I do think that the Miami Heat do need a little bit more size depth behind Kel'el Ware and Bam Adebayo. And who knows what the future is going to hold for Nico, if Nico's going to be here. Happy 22nd birthday to Nikola Jovic as well. But if they could get Precious Achiuwa on the cheap skis, a reasonable deal for Precious Achiuwa, I think I'd be kind of into that. I'd like to see that through because, look, obviously the organization had some affinity for him. The organization, Adam Simon, there's something that they saw in this guy that they were like, it's gonna fit. Now, I understand that his biggest criticisms that he's had would seem to spit in the face of everything that they want from their players. But now you're getting a guy who's, all right, going to be at a very interesting turning point of his career. 3 teams are kind of done with you, even though the Heat had nothing against him. They just put him in a trade to add a veteran point guard. But this is kind of the sweet spot for the Heat. He's only, I think, 26 years old. They've had him before. Not something that they couldn't use. I don't necessarily know if the minutes will be huge here, but let's even say if the Heat could craft him to if they could hone into some of this first round talent. Now, can't shoot a lick. Still not a guy who could shoot. So this is a guy who's going to have to be follow-ups, dunks, be a lob threat, and all that stuff that he maybe doesn't love. But I wonder if the Heat, if there's anybody in the Heat organization that still sees a little something in Precious, the team that drafted him, and is like, I'm intrigued by that. Because I just saw that headline. I was like, well, if he's looking for a place and he wants to find the place, this place never really got to develop him. Got him at 19 years old, and they never really got to see it through. Weird year, COVID, post-COVID season. Probably not the greatest experience. And what about like you're already looking at him as like the guy who, hey, you didn't draft Tyrese Maxey, you drafted Precious Achiuwa. Everybody looks at like in a run for Adam Simon that's had like grand slam and home runs and big hits in the drafting. Precious Achiuwa doesn't feel like that, but he's not a bum, and I would be curious to see if the Miami Heat would have any interest with the agent tie there, with the draft tie there, if he was looking for a new home, if this would be one that would intrigue the franchise at all. I'm not sure, but I just saw that and I was wondering if the circumstances were right. I'm not saying give him the max or anything like that, but if the circumstances were right, I would be intrigued by the Heat bringing him back.